the bottom right here in the red, taking down eviscerating Solar and beyond to get here. It's MaxPax. And of course, in the upper left, in the blue, in this Duel of the Titans, El Clasico, Clem. I'm sorry, I've done us a disservice. It's not Clem, it's Clem. Who, by the way, is the runner-up of Home Story Cup. We didn't get to see a best of 7. We got to see a best of 5 because that game went that final day. I want to say the grand final started at about 2 a.m. German time, Central European time. My earbud just got on my chair in a really weird way. There we go. Now we're good. But anyway, looked really good. Ran into the brick wall. That is Cyril. And I mean, what are you gonna do there? I changed this setting. We've been on this set. This has been fine for the last, how long have I been live? Last 2 hours. It's been okay. And now it decided it needed to reset itself again. Blizzard, please. Blizzard, please. Meanwhile, though, Clem opened double barracks Reaper, 2 Reapers at a time. And I know I was joking because I got this exciting email I want to read. This strikes me as something that might be a quick series, simply because it is 4 a.m., 4:30 in Europe right now. Clem is probably pretty tired. Just got back home from Home Story Cup. You know, it's not going to surprise me to see a significant amount of aggressive options coming on out, at least in some of these maps, because again, it's 4:30 in the morning, and I know that's peak gamer hours, and I know that's something that Clem is well accustomed to. Even still, it's late. It feels bad to be up until the sun comes up again, and luckily, France is on more northern latitudes, and that does mean that the days are shorter, the nights are longer. So you gotta wait until I don't know what sunrise is in France right now, but this Adept is dead. No, it's not. Never mind. One more shot would have killed it. But it is the reveal. So MaxPax now well aware of the fact that Clem has opted for these 3 Reapers. Well, he's seen 3 of them. He hasn't seen the 4th. But has opted for these aggressive opportunities. And what do we have? It's 2 Adepts. Honestly, 2 Adepts, one of them pretty injured, is not enough to deal with these Reapers at all. So probes will fall, and especially you add this 4th Reaper in, it's a problem. Eventually, there's going to be an Oracle out. Eventually, that's going to be something. But look at this. The Command Center is going to complete. You can bunker in. You can hide in that one. Adepts are going to shade on top, and the Reaper will fall. So, Clem, I was worried. I thought there was going to be value. But it turns out that MaxPax is the one that benefits here. A couple probes did die. There is that. And now 3 Reapers are going to find their way into, or 3 Adepts are going to find their way into the other side. And that one-shot's SCVs. That one-shots Marines, that one-shots Adept or Reapers and things of that nature. But the Reapers did kill the Adepts, so at the end of the day, it's going to be okay. For now, though, MaxPax cutting away with these Adepts really nicely. They're going to go down at the end of the day, and it means there's room for the Oracle, though. So the Oracle is going to try to dive in, but there are still 5 Marines, and it's not 6, which is the magic number where you don't get damage, but it's still 5. And that is it's going to be more than enough. MaxPax is going to get forced back once again. And as we take stats on this game right now, 1 Reaper, 2 Marines have died, 3 Adepts, 2 Probes have died. Clem's got a minor advantage for himself. He's lost some. He didn't get as much damage as he would have liked, but it's not great. Or I should say it's not all that bad. Meanwhile, MaxPax. Blink on the way. He's got 3 gateways. No robo just yet, though. So while this is 3-gate robo, it's not aggro 3-gate robo. It's defensive 3-gate robo with a 3rd base behind. And well, that just gives Clem room into the mid game. This is, of course, 3 racks. Stim +1 combat shields, all done right around that similar 6-minute-ish, 6:30 timing. Stim +1 going to be done right now. Or Stim combat shields done right now. Or +1's going to be done a little bit later. And there. So, MaxPax, where does he go from here? We have seen some significant proof. Some significant proof, especially that Hearthstone series, where it's starting to look like Protoss players have started, MaxPax maybe in particular, has gotten a bit more of a handle about how you want to deal with Clem, and it's not heavy tech units. He multitasks too much for that. It's too hard to keep up. But it's heavily upgraded charge lots. It's playing active on the map. It's playing kind of like a Zerg, to be totally honest, as a Stalker will go down right there, which is not what you're looking for necessarily, but what are we at? 3 gateways, 2 more going on up to 5. We should see a couple more. This Oracle is gonna get low, but will not fall. And here comes the pressure out of MaxPax. Or out of Clem, excuse me. 1 Reaper goes in, doesn't get much damage done. There's a shield battery at the third base. There's a stasis trap at the third base. I'd love to see a cannon. This army right now, again, it doesn't have medevacs. They're going to arrive a little bit later, and it's just on the Blink Stalker control for MaxPax. Down 20 army supply. But his economy's going like gangbusters. But if he can hold on, if he can force some stims before Clem is really ready to commit, he's going to be in a great spot. For now, trades really nicely against those Marines, but now Clem thinks about stimming in. There he's going to go on top. Shield battery overcharge is going to get popped right now in the stasis trap. The stasis trap triggers everything, and Clem gets nothing whatsoever. Reapers don't even find value. It's very, that was well done. These Marines, they're going to stim away, sure. Blinking on top, it's a force field of Stalker, so even that's not going to be much of an escape here coming out of Clem. Yeah, there are medevacs, and yeah, there are Widowmines, and MaxPax does that. Actually, he's got to be really careful right now. The healing here is doing so much. Your Stalker's going to blink away, and the Widowmine won't make connections. But again, we talked about what characterizes Clem in this matchup in a previous series. It's his Widowmine usage. It's his ability. He never stops building them in a way that other Protoss or other Terrans don't. So the Widowmines, they're going to continue to find value in this game. They're going to continue to get made. They're going to continue to just shove their way into MaxPax's face. And if MaxPax is not paying attention, if he's not ready for this, the Widowmines are really going to do a lot. But for now, Zealot's charge isn't done. So 2 Zealots, 200 minerals shaved off the top. We're going to have to see. But again, Stalkers are doing such a nice job here trading. Oh, that's a good force field. As we got to go take a look at what's happening right now. That was a solid force field, but Clem is going to get his way out for the time being. As now Widowmine drop into the main base. We're going to have a warp in. There's no cannon in the main base, actually. Stalkers are going to warp in, but Widowmines are going to go down right now. MaxPax, he's going to pull away. It's going to get 4 probes. Oh, he's going to be annoying. Unburrow, reburrow. Oh, misses the shot. So it's going to reburrow again. 4 total probes will go down. Not ideal. Could be worse, though. These Stalkers are on a bit of move command, so that's not great. Widowmines actually don't even trigger. They you don't have to worry about that for the time being, but they are in vision range. The cannon, and there's an observer as well, so they will get targeted down. We're looking at this game, and Clem is actually, I was gonna say it feels like Clem has been just trading better. They've traded perfectly equally, and now this is when MaxPax is unlocked. Zealot run by into the third base. Zealot drop into the main base, as Clem has been so active on the other side of the map. And this is how this tends to go. MaxPax bends, he bends, but he doesn't break. And the moment that he has an opportunity, he snaps back with all that force, all that energy that's stored up in that bending, and kills 12, kills 15, kills 20 SCVs. Gets so much damage done, and maybe even ends the game here. Mules are going to get dropped in third base. So many SCVs are going to go down. More warp-ins here, and Clem is just dead. MaxPax, all of a sudden, with gateway units, wins game 1. In the upper left, in the red, bending, and then snapping back with incredible force. MaxPax. Bottom right, or excuse me, upper right, in the blue, down a game with a proxy. Clem. And can I just start calling MaxPax the rubber band Protoss? There's got to be a better way to say that. There's got to be something. There's got to be there. I don't know, the bouncy. What's a word that starts with P? If you're watching this on YouTube, what's a word that starts? Let me know in the comments. What's a word that starts with P that means like bouncy or bounce back in some way? Like, how do we make this work? Because I think it is very accurate. That MaxPax is... Showtime is just defend, 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 and eventually you're going to wear yourself down against him. MaxPax is he bends just far enough and then snaps back and does a lot of damage. That's actually the sound that it makes. It's a sound. But Clem has proxy to Reaper. It's only one barrier. So he's gonna try to find some damage early on. We saw the early Reaper from Clem, the 4 Reapers, the 2 racks in base proxy, or the 2 racks in base Reaper build. He got a couple probes, got damage, it killed an adept, didn't get much more than that. But this one maybe gets a little bit more. Probe 1 gets low, goes down. Second one maybe a little bit more here, but probes are chasing, and a stalker's gonna be out. Oh, MaxPax didn't move and shoot, so the Reaper will get out. And now the game goes on. Stargate on the way for MaxPax, which does seem to be the way you want to beat Clem for the most part. But the important thing is what this does also is the probe in the main base has just been living there. Full scout, time over time over time. A full scout, getting a Stargate like this, it also kind of unlocks the third base, or taking the gold, because before charge and blink, it's really hard to defend the main base and the third base at the same time. Getting a bunch of Phoenix can allow that to happen. Getting that can enable things, but I think based on how MaxPax has been playing against Beyond, based against how well, as I would say, that it's going to be Phoenix opener. Never mind. I was going to say as based on how MaxPax has been playing recently, it might just be Oracle into Gateway again. But no, Phoenix on the way. Question, how does MaxPax take a quick third, or is this just Phoenix Colossus delayed third base is a little bit more standard? I understand, by the way, the decision to get Phoenix. Not only does it keep your third base and your main base alive a little bit, it also means that Clem, Equilibrium is a map that you have so much drop potential. So much ability to, there's a ton of dead airspace. So getting the Phoenix like that, it makes it a lot harder. He's going to scout out with this one, but it also is a bit of a warning shot across the bow to Clem to say, hey, you want to load up a medevac or two and drop on my main base? It probably won't work, so don't even try. I don't think pliable's right. Pliable means that you bend, that you're able to be pretzeled into different positions. Well, you need the bounce back. Showtime is pliable. Showtime is able to be bent into different positions and he just doesn't break. I don't know. What I do know is that, well, we're seeing an SCV go down, more Phoenix on the way, and I am honestly kind of surprised to see this being Phoenix Colossus as we move into game number 2, because Equilibrium is just such a good charge lot map. It's such a good gateway map. The MaxPax does, we're starting to get to the point where we do want to see that third base go down pretty quickly. 5 minutes isn't super weird. Ooh, the bamboo toss. That's a good one. Oh, that's a nice Widow Mine right there. And the Viking actually puppy guarding it as well. So Phoenix will go down. Oh, is he going to get... No, he's going to run back away. Cyclones are there, though. Oh, they're not going to go down. Bit of an awkward trade for both sides. It's going to be a dead Phoenix. Lots of damage on others, but it's a dead Widow Mine. It's a dead Viking. And there's the third base going down. Immortal, you're going to get one. That keeps you safe, but it's going to be Colossus on the way pretty quickly. And if Clem wants to go for some 2-base timing, when you get 2-3 Colossus on the map, I mean, it's not easy. So let's see. Clem's going to have he's going to have stim combat shields done before 6 minutes. +1's going to be done before 7. Concussive shells should get ready as well. But because MaxPax delayed his third base so much, I mean, that is the build, but because that build has you delay your third base so much, there are going to be 1 to 2 Colossus on the map, an Immortal on the map, a decent amount of Phoenix on the map by the time this pressure hits. And do we have a Sentry? We don't have a Sentry. That'd be the icing on the cake. That one extra thing, a Force Field or a Guardian Shield, makes it really hard, especially if you get a couple of both. Makes it really hard to go engage. But we already have our first Colossus. I want to say out. Yeah, first Colossus out. Second one now on the way. And Clem is going to hit closer to 7 minutes, I think. By the time that happens, we have shield batteries everywhere they need to be. The Colossus second one is getting chronoed out. It should be done fairly close to the time that Clem hits across the map. And this build from MaxPax is, quite frankly, it's designed to defend against what MaxPax is doing. It's not a bunch of gateway units, which can also be a solid defense against this, but the 6-minute stim can actually hit before charge is done sometimes, can hit before hit before an armor upgrade is done, for example. It can do a really nice job against mass gateway or against mass gateway styles. But there are going to be 2 Colossus out on the map. Third one's on the way here. Clem is not going to break this. But he's going to try. At the very least, he's going to posture around as his third base. One of the benefits of this 6-minute stim. Oh, my brother just texted me. I don't know that this is great, but the trampoline toss. There's that alliteration. The trampoline toss. You bounce on him, he bounces you back harder. I don't think that'll stick, but I like it. I like that a lot. Well done, Preston. Anyways, third Colossus just about done. 5 more gateways getting added in now. As that was a attempted pylon. It's not going to be allowed to go up for much longer. But we're starting to get cannons and mineral lines. We're starting to get a warp prism done. And here's the thing. Often, not this game because Vikings are on the way. Often, a Terran player can commit to aggression like this pretty heavily. And if the Protoss takes no damage, and again, MaxPax has taken very little damage. Losing a Phoenix isn't great, but for the most part, taking very little damage. The Protoss can run across the map and just shred the Terran before they have the tech ready, before they're ready. So +1's done in about 40 seconds. Charged a little bit faster, but a warp prism's done right now. Gateways are done right now. Templar Archive's done just about right now. There are no ghosts on the map. This timing, what's our Viking count at? It's going to be 8 probably by the time this pressure happens, and that actually is reasonable. So maybe we're not going to see MaxPax be able to make the attack happen. Oh no, someone just got banned. I don't even know what they said. I wasn't paying attention to chat. I'm sorry. Someone just got banned. I believe my mod. I believe my moderator did the right thing. But anyways, charge just about done. +1 just about done. Archon's getting added in here. This is all lining up for a pretty solid MaxPax attack. He's at 150 supply. Another round of warpins is going to put him at around 160, 170. And we can see the red flooding across the map. This is why, this right here, this attack coming in from MaxPax right now, is why Equilibrium is so good for Protoss players. That angle on the third base, because Clem, realistically, either third base, is so wide open. Charge lots are so good against it. Now, what are we looking at? 3 ghosts in the main base. The Zealots get on top of the missile turret before it completes. So there isn't going to be any warp-ins into the fight, but a Viking is going to get deputized. 2 EMPs remaining. A Guardian Shields is going to get popped here, and for the moment, eBay is going to be the target. That's going to deny upgrades for the time. Zealots looking for the engage, but Colossus are sitting back for now. Zealots on the right side really not doing all that much, and this is a lot of Archons, but they're buffering so well against the Vikings. A lot of damage going down. Because MaxPax wanted to do the 1-2 punch, he gets 4 SCVs. He kills the eBay. He denies upgrades for a time. He's not gonna kill Clem. Not yet. And now 2-1 on the way. Another Warp Prism getting added in because the first one did die. But how much further this is going, I don't know. MaxPax, he might try to get a little bit more aggressive. the mildly offensive tramp toss. We're not going to call him the tramp toss, but the trampoline toss. I'll work with that one. Anyways, second Robo on the way, 2-1 on the way. Blink finally getting added in here, but it seems like we are going to button down. We're going to button down for a bit of a longer game. That timing was powerful for MaxPax. I wasn't just overly hyping it up. That is a really hard position for the Zerg or the Terran player. There we go. We're going to get there. For the Terran player to hold on is a force field on the bunkers just to make sure it busts down. But here comes the army, and watch these Archons are balloons. For those of you that have not seen this before, and you probably have, EMPs on Archons, they're balloons. They just pop. They go down very quickly, and I know the holidays are coming, but it doesn't matter. That's a lot of stalkers that are going to warp in, though, and they don't have blink. They're very far from blink. So you add them in, you have them forward, trying to buy some opportunity, but this We talked about timings. MaxPax had a really solid tech timing. Now it's the other way. These Archons are just not useful. The ghosts are there. Viking count is high enough that the Colossus can't do all that much. So we're going to go on a triple robo now. 2 done, third one on the way. Plus 2, 2-2 now on the way here as well, adding in all these disruptors. And what we're looking for now is this timing when Blink is done. When MaxPax can go and be a lot more active on the map and start to run circles around Clem. Because Clem, we know where he wants to go. He wants to turtle this up onto 5 bases, get onto Liberator range. There's the second starport getting added in. Mass Liberators and just build this army that it's impossible. That a Protoss army realistically cannot fight. 0 chance of fighting. You got to play Ring Around the Rosie. You got to play around the edge. Maybe go Sky Toss. I never see it. It feels like it's getting 5 or 6 Tempests is necessary sometimes, but it's also super immobile and really easy for a Terran player to dive on top of. So I don't know. Anyways, MaxPax putting the pressure on right now. No detection for the moment. So these Widow Mines are going to be a bit of a problem. Actually, they make some pretty nice connections. So back up. Only 1 Widow Mine goes off. And now this Warp Prism. Yeah. Clem is bad. And I love this from Clem. As someone who enjoys active gameplay, I'm not as big of a fan. But as someone who wants a player, like, I love the decision making. He's just 4 missile turrets, 3 missile turrets in the main base, and a Cyclone from early game, and a Viking patrolling, because he's got enough to deal with the Colossus at the front, making it so that this Warp Prism is never going to find its way in the main at all. No way. 0 chance. Oh, the Vikings are going to find an angle. Colossus just about dies. Although, at this point, Disruptor gets a couple Marauders. I feel like at this point, you don't even want the Colossus anymore. Yeah, you want them to trade out somewhat efficiently, but Colossus, nice blink there on the Stalkers. Colossus 1 goes down. Second one should go down. Well, maybe not. Not just yet. Now it's going to fall, but we can see the power of Guardian Shields really doing a lot. But again, the Colossus are not incredible at this point. Eventually, Clem's going to stop building. Okay, this is going to be a Stargate play. Eventually, Clem is going to stop building Vikings, and they're going to get whittled down over time, and then you build 3 Colossus. I was going to say you build 3 Colossus at once, but MaxPax, once this is part of his composition, he's rebuilding 2 Colossus. I understand getting Colossus against a bunch of Liberators. You got to play on the range. The Liberators, they're keeping Bio alive, but Colossus can fight that. But the Viking count right now is just so high that it's really hard. EMPs, they're going to blast everything. And again, good position for MaxPax, but he had 1 Colossus, not 3. Still have more Colossus on the way, and we're adding carriers plus 1 attack. Getting added in DT Blink, and again, this is something that I don't see a lot of. So Colossus carrier is terrifying. You have a ton of splash damage, you have a ton of DPS. It's really hard for the Vikings to fight because every time, once the interceptors are out, when the Vikings get in range, they just get annihilated. But together, you want to be on 7, 8, 9. Oh, Disruptor not going to land. You want to be on like 7, 8, 9 carriers plus 2 attack, adding in armor or adding in shield upgrades as well. And we're just not there yet for MaxPax. Now, he has a massive bank. An absolutely gargantuan bank. 5,000 minerals, 2,000 gas. He has what is required to go and build this army. But he has to make sure he trades somewhat. Oh, that's going to be a nice disruptor shot right there. SimCity really working against him, but Liberators, I swear, Liberators, they just need a little bit of a nerf. Their ranged Liberators are so strong, especially with +2. We don't have that yet, but EMP can do the benefit of it. So EMP Stalkers, they get 2 shot with +1. +2, they get 2 shot anyways, and +2 plus EMP, they get 1 shot. So, yeah. Clem has the map at this point. We talked about wanting to bounce around as Clem sees what's happening, sees the carriers on the way. We talked about this desire to go bounce around bases and kind of bounce Clem around the map a little bit. It feels like we're past that point where that's even possible. Clem has his right side. He's got all sorts of everything. Sensor towers everywhere. People talk about how broken creep is, and maybe. Sensor towers are really... I can't make that comparison because sensor towers cost money. They're a little bit more of a late game tech. They need an eBay. You can kill them and they shut down a whole more vision range, but the sensor towers are really strong in this matchup in particular. As the scan goes down, That's a dead Dark Templar as well. So I think we're waiting on the mothership timing. And something I'm actually not, I'm not clear about, I don't know, is whether, oh, carriers are going to get their interceptors out. That's a decent amount of damage right now. What I'm not clear about is, does EMPs land on a cloaked unit? As that's a dead carrier. If EMPs land on a cloaked unit, obviously the cloaked unit is going to get revealed. But if EMPs land on an army and then mothership casts cloak, are the units cloaked or not? It's something I keep meaning to check in the editor, but I'm not sure. As Clem has cracked this game open, by the way. All of a sudden, Clem's got sieged up positions everywhere. He's in the main base, shutting down economy, shutting down, more importantly, production. He's knocking the gold base down, which very little minerals. How much? Very, very, very little minerals. 1,500, if that, not a ton. But he shut down a lot of production. MaxPax, he's still at 189 army supply, but he's lost a base. He's lost a lot of pylons. He's lost a carrier or two. He's only on 5. He's only on 1 Colossus. But he does have a lot of DTs, and the mothership is here. These DTs, though, they're not getting a lot. Meanwhile, 7 probes have gone down to the Liberators. But at this point, this game is going a long, long time. It is currently 5 o'clock in the morning in Denmark, in France, where these two players are playing from. And this game doesn't feel like it's going to end anytime soon. The banks are there. MaxPax still has a pretty significant one, but the interceptors are not out yet. That's the important thing. So we saw a lot of them go down as they got bursted through, and Colossus are starting to fall. Big EMPs on this army. And if we look at resources lost here, holy crap, I didn't realize it was that bad. It's 10,000 the good for Clem in this game. That's insane. By the way, if you want to make a meme, this is going to be minus 300, not minus 400. Minus 400 as the EMP reveals the units here. Colossus, everything's dead. This is not a fight. This is not a fight at all. Liberators kill everything on the ground. Mothership in the air. Minus 300, minus 300. Carriers on the backslide will fall. And now it's going to be Tempest on the way. But this bag out of MaxPax, he got 5,000 minerals. He's got 1,000 gas. That's not a lot. That is a difficult army to replace, and especially if you're building 3 Tempests and 3 Disruptors at a time. Okay, he's gonna build 3. Even still, this is a lot of gas. The gas bank for MaxPax is done. He cannot take a fight like that anymore. And this is, of course, Clem's timing. Units are out again. 3 more Tempests on the way, 3 more Colossus on the way. But it does take a little bit of time to rebuild this army, and Clem's army is still fit as a fiddle. It's still fight ready. Stalkers, we'll deal with that Liberator on the right side, of course. But I think we're in part, we're seeing why 13,000 resources. Give me a little better now with the DTs. But I think we're seeing why the mass Stargate play is not played. It's certainly not against Clem. It's you build a powerful army and then you just get ripped apart. And it's so expensive. It's such a long transition that we saw MaxPax almost get there, but not quite. But I'm with y'all. Archon Toilet sounds like fun. It was broken as hell, and there's a reason it was removed, but if you give me 4 here's the thing. If y'all give me 4 larvae per inject, I'll give you Archon Toilet. Fair? Fair. As the Vikings now just getting so much damage on top of everything. The Colossus from the backside, Disruptor Shot fails to land. Ran his way into freedom zones and it was liberated. Like a country that had too much oil, too much freedom applied. Now Zealots are and DTs are starting to find some value. Clem, it does have to deal with this slow procession of units into the main base, into the natural, into the third base at home, but EMPs again on this army, and MaxPax is forced into ground units, forced into gateway units, which actually might work out fairly nicely because a large component of this army is Vikings, and the army does get cleaned up. Clem is forced back, but all the Tempests are dead. Vikings just finding dead airspace, running away. Some of them will fall. But Clem has 5,000 minerals in the bank. 5,000 minerals, 5,000 gas. Clem, no gas. His mineral bank severely depleted as well. So, yeah, he brought it back a little bit as these Vikings will fall. He doesn't have the gas bank. I do like the decision to just go mass gateway units again, though. It's funny. It's interesting how modern Protoss is played very, very similarly to oh, okay, MaxPax is not going to fall victim to that. Is played pretty similarly to mid-game Zerg, or even late-game Zerg, where it's very common for a Zerg player, once the Terran's committed to late-game, Ghost, whatever it is, they're just going to go and they're going to say, that's fine, I'm going to go mass Hydraling Bane, or some spellcasters, but mass Hydraling Bane. Because your units don't do a lot of splash damage. They don't handle just masses of units. And that's kind of what MaxPax has done here. That's what he's got 3/3. He's got +1 shields. He's adding, it's a little bit different because he's got these Tempests on top, but it's just this mass ground army. And our Liberator count, it's at 9. It's a lot, but it's not quite critical mass. Here's now this, well, Planetary is going to get targeted down briefly. But here comes Freedom, and Freedom means you gotta run away. Freedom to fight again another day, maybe. So MaxPax is gonna kite away as well as he can, and he's not a critical Tempest mass. That's the other thing. You need 5 one-shots Vikings, 5 one-shots Medivacs. I don't know if they one-shot Liberators. I would assume they would, but he's maxed out, so not quite enough here, is he? Liberator's gonna siege up. Stalker's playing forward, though. This is actually a pretty decent trade for MaxPax, as long as he doesn't lose any of his disruptors, and he won't. But imagine if 2 of those Zealots was another Tempest. Suddenly he's one. Well, actually, no, we're on 5 now. We're good. Never mind. We're on 6. We have 1 shot. And now this Planetary might actually go down. There's a drop on the backside, but you're trapped into a corner against Disruptors. That doesn't feel good. But Clem, he's setting up a bit of a surround. Disruptor on the north side here. Does it hit? No, not really. And now the Liberators are going to siege up once again. And this is the problem. You can't give Clem a surround like this. You can't go and give Clem the opportunity because he's going to pounce in from multiple sides. He's going to siege up your face. It's going to be hard. I wonder... the problem is the Vikings. I was going to say, I wonder if you get Storm here. Honestly, the answer might be multiple Warp Prisms. You lead with a couple. You keep 4 High Templar in the final one, and you just bomb them on top and drop storms on their face, and assume that the Protoss or the Terran player is not going to have enough APM to drop enough EMPs. Storms on Mass Viking Liberator, maybe? I don't know. Now we are starting to see some of these disruptors go down as the Vikings run forward, puppy guarding their friends. And more Tempests will fall down. And again, Clem micros forward. His 8,000, 4,000. The money that he's got at this point is kind of insane. And this ghost count is just, it's massive. So, yeah, having shields are nice. EMPs remove all of them. That is not going to work out all that well. And I'm looking, it's wild. I'm looking at this game. And if we look at resources lost, MaxPax has brought it back a little bit, but not enough. And MaxPax has felt dead for 15 minutes, and somehow he's still in this game. Somehow he's still fighting. Somehow he's finding ways to stay alive. It's not great. He's just lost 16 probes. Vikings, they're going to run forward. The Tempest will fall as the Stalkers, they kill some, but not enough. And Disruptor will not land. So Carriers, they're back in the rotation. But it's 20 Vikings. 20 plus 3 plus 2 Vikings. Yeah, that's something. But this finally feels like the hammer blow. This finally feels like enough that Clem is finally breaking through. Now MaxPax going for a bit of a run by through the middle of the map, maybe dealing with some reinforcements, knocking some Vikings off right there. But this army out of Max again, the army out of Clem is just really, really strong. Disruptors on the backside. I mean, they're good shots. Again, every time I think it's not possible, MaxPax takes the fight anyways. He will lose Carriers, but the Disruptors will follow Zealots on the backside as well. There's no Planetary to retreat to on MaxPax. He doesn't have a bank. He doesn't have an economy. This army has to do so much. Actually, I don't even know if this army can do enough, but he is winning the fight. He is forcing Clem back. He is getting an orbital down. It's something. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Problem is, MaxPax is mining 1,000 minerals a minute. DTs, though, they're going to find their way in. They blink past the EMP, actually. That's a really nice. Stalkers trying to get on top of the Liberators. And if MaxPax can get on top of the production, maybe there's a shot. 10,000 minerals doesn't matter if there's no way for a Terran to build out of it. Another orbital will fall. Zealots continue. There's no way absolutely zero chance MaxPax does this, but I'm starting to believe anyways. Vikings land on the ground. Disruptors get a couple here on top of the production even more, and all of a sudden I'm believing MaxPax maybe his army supply is still pretty good. He's eking units out when he can. And if you look at this, 13 orbitals, that's a lot of money that, again, it's a lot of money that can be mined. The Liberators in the main base, that's going to prevent the death move. That's going to prevent the knee on the neck. That makes it so hard for Clem to win. But even still, MaxPax has an opportunity here to reset things quite a bit. As now, again, DTs, they're going to get on top of a lot of Ghosts. They're going to get on top of these Marines as well, but they will fall. And it was the best possible move MaxPax could have ever made, but it's not going to be quite enough. I did start to believe for a second. I looked at the army supply, and I looked at, if MaxPax finds a way into the main base, I think he might even win that game. But the Liberators, I underestimated just how many starports there were. And Clem will take it. But MaxPax, for how good that game was for Clem, MaxPax had to make it work so hard for it. In the upper right, in the red, almost making it happen. Almost. From the worst deficit I've seen in PvT in a long time, it's MaxPax. Bottom left, Liberators, good unit. It's Clem. And absolutely, that is a wild as hell game. But also, as we're into game number 3. If you haven't done it so already, I hope you do. Hit the sub button on the YouTube channel. Like this video because that really helps with the algorithm. And also, ring the notification bell so you don't miss anything. But more importantly, I stream live on Twitch. I stream live on YouTube. Co-streaming all the time. And you should hit the follow button again. Follow button on, or the sub button on YouTube if you haven't already. Follow button on Twitch as well. And if you want to sub on Twitch, I'm not going to say no. But again, hit those buttons to make sure you don't miss out on more incredible series like this. Because I know that Clem and MaxPax are, it's El Clasico. We see them play so often. But they slam out games like that. They slam out incredible 30-minute PVTs that are just blow up my understanding. You should not be able to lose 15,000 more resources as a Protoss than a Terran and still have a shot to win the game. But MaxPax did anyways. Like, and a Legulac thinks it's a 3-1. As this proxy pylon is not going to get anything done. Reaper's going to kill the probe as well. So MaxPax an attempt to save them from a, it is currently, by the way, talking about timings, it is 5:20, 5:18 in Europe right now. What is sunrise here? That's the important question. What is sunrise in the Netherlands? I don't know where MaxPax lives, so we'll use like Utrecht. Utrecht in the Netherlands. Of course, this is where Team Liquid has their facility. And sunrise is 8:30 in the morning. They're not going to play until sunrise. Maybe in like southern France. What's a good southern France? Lille maybe. Lille in southern France? I don't know. Reaper gets another probe though. Look at that body blocking out of MaxPax. I'm sorry. I know I was looking up sunrise in Lille, France at 8:30 as well. Look at that body blocking out of MaxPax. That was sick. That was so cool. Unironically, that was the fanciest little bit of micro I've seen in a while. I was too busy looking at sunrises. But anyway. That was so cool out of MaxPax. Big fan. And hey, you play a 40-minute game or 30-minute game, whatever it just was. You don't want to do it again. It's Alcyone. It's a map that exists. It has a ramp into the main base. MaxPax is going 4-gate. He is tired of this nonsense. He's had 2 pretty long games thus far, and again, it's 5:20 in the morning. That is tremendously late. Even for gamer hours, even for these players. This EPT is going a little bit later than it normally does. So Warp Prism's on the way. Stalker's getting warped in. Blink 2/3, 8/10, 80% of the way done. And Clem, for his part, what does he got? He's got a Raven on the way. He's got one tank. He's got a Widowmine, so he's going single Widowmine drop. That's already onto the other side of the map. We're going to have to see now, does this Widowmine get damage? If this gets significant damage, MaxPax, I mean, he's already all in or very committed, but he's going to be even more so. It does mean, though, that the tank count is lower. We have one right now. There's going to be a second one on the map just about by the time these Stalkers arrive. And Clem is waiting that out. I don't know that he knows this is a 4-gate, but he does know that there will be some aggression. So we should see that drop going. First, he knows this is a 4-gate. First bunker, second bunker is going to get depowered. And we're not seeing the drop just yet. Clem doesn't have the APM to commit to it, but now he's going to try to find his way in, boosting on in. Here, MaxPax not pulling, but Clem very conservative. He could have gotten more. He's still going to only get 4. He was trying to play on the edge of the screen, hoping MaxPax doesn't notice, I guess, and he gets it, but only 4 workers go down. And this Stalker count's insane. There's a lot of them. They're actually going to blink out. This is, again, a little bit awkward. This is not just the committed 4-gate. I really do almost feel like MaxPax could blink on top of this, but he's not going to for now. Just warping in more Stalkers, buying more time. Another attempt to drop here. This one looks like it's going to go to the natural, but it's going to be envisioned for MaxPax for a little bit of time here. Is there going to be the pull? MaxPax, though, blinks on the other side. As this happens, Bunker's going to go down. Tank goes down here as well. And this is the damage that MaxPax is looking for. Meanwhile, Widowmine drops. Probes are not getting pulled, but it's not going to be a ton. Only 3 probes go down. MaxPax making the proper decision here, not committing APM onto the other side of the map, committing damage. Finding value, getting tons of Marines, a tank, a bunker, as he considers to move on onto the north side, a little bit more damage, denying yet more mining. And maybe another round of Stalkers. It's going to be time to blink on top of that tank once again. Oh, that's a dead Stalker. That's not what you want. This is the blink, but it's going to be fine. This Widowmine's going to get a 3rd shot off, and that one's going to be what you're looking for. 13 dead probes. We talked about MaxPax being all in or not. Yeah, he's absolutely all in at this point. He's going to get a reactor. That's going to deny some medevacs, but Stim is going to be done very soon. Medevacs are through, and most of the Stalkers are dead too. The decision twice to not commit to it, okay, maybe. Maybe. Letting Clem do this and not pulling the 3rd time is just... It's unfortunate. Now medevacs are on the field. Stim is done. There's a tank on the high ground. There's a tank on the low ground. Missile turret at the front line, making it hard for Warp Prisms and Observers to find their way in. And all this means is that MaxPax, he's now on the, I gotta get some damage. 4 Stalkers in the main base that one-shots SCVs. Maybe I can find something, but the bio count here is impossible. So now MaxPax finally makes the pull. Too late. Too little. Too late. I know there's going to be a recall, but at this point, MaxPax is in a really rough spot. And here comes the pressure of Clem. He's up 68 army supply to 39. He's got another... this drop, if he targets, he's going to get 5 more probes. Oh, he's just going to unburrow, reburrow. Okay, that's fine. 2 more probes. 15. This one Widowmine has killed 15 workers. Now, this army out of Clem feels a little lacking, not going to lie. Tank is going to go down very quickly, and charge is done. A Guardian Shield is going to be over pretty quickly. Eventually, Shield Battery Overture is going to run down. Widowmines get more value. And Clem doesn't have to end the game right now. He doesn't have to. He's in a great spot, but he does not have to depower Max. Oh, look at this. Zealots on the flank right here. This is going to force a pickup, but there's more army that's going to fit in these medevacs, I think. Stalkers, maybe. It was mistimed. They didn't have the blink. And Clem's going to try to take his 3rd base. And MaxPax, again, he's the trampoline toss. He has this incredible ability to just take so much damage and then somehow bounce back anyways. And there's a world where maybe this happens anyways, but he's trying to get too fancy. There's so much army in the main base, but... Army's in the main base. If he brings the Warp Prism in, Zealots on the flank once again here. And maybe, but it's not enough. And now Clem, his entire army is together. He's got +1 armor about halfway done. 2 Widow Mines on the way at a time. And yeah, MaxPax, he's trying to get a Colossus out. It's not going to happen in this game. And the Zealot run by is trying. It's going to delay the bunker. This bio ball out of Clem seems incontrovertible at this point. Seems incontestable. And yeah, now there's a Viking. I love this Viking. So we're going to see the War Prism go down. Most Zealots will die. And now here comes Clem. On the other side, force fields are solid. There's another shield battery overcharge. Absolutely. But with the Widow Mines here, the tanks, the bio 1-1 versus 0-0. Overcharge is going to be done soon. And, well, yeah, I guess this tank is going to go down. MaxPax is, again, fighting well enough to stay in the game, but not win the game. And he's dead. There we go. Clem goes up 2-1. The bottom left in the red, down a game. It's MaxPax. And of course, Nepa right in the blue, up 2-1. Looking really strong. It's Clem. I love, by the way, how MaxPax has been able to go and, like, he's conditioned me to believe that the impossible is possible. I see these fights. I'm like, if he hits a good flank, I've seen him win these fights. And then you realize it's Clem, but down significant. Oh, this proxy is going to get up. MaxPax does get the scout off, but the SCV has the proper RNG. It's going to get up here. The proxy will complete. Reaper's on the way, but at the very least, MaxPax is aware of what's happening. He knows what's up. He knows what's up. Hey, Valkano Proto, it's 15 months. Thank you so much. But anyways, this is going to get scouted out. And that does mean that's going to get a little bit less value. Although, MaxPax is choosing to handle this with... This is the way MaxPax handles this, by the way. When he sees a proxy, he just pro-pulls. He says it's going to be fine. He accepts the mining time inefficiencies because it's better than getting a Zealot, and that's 100 minerals down the drain. And honestly, his micro is really, really good. And you look at this, he doesn't lose a single probe, at least not right now. And with the damage done with the Adept out, I mean... Hey. This is pretty solid. And there we go. Reaper will fall, but there's a second one on the way. Third base, or excuse me, natural getting started for Clem right now, but this hasn't really accomplished what he would like. He didn't even force an Adept out. You want an Adept early on. But even still, doesn't get much. Yeah, it really just doesn't get much done. And the probe almost gets the SCV on that one. But starport on the way, natural on the way here. MaxPax, this is the best opening he's had in the game. And well, that's not even a fair comparison because generally things aren't happening this early into a game. But he's eked himself out quite a nice opportunity in this game. In this game number 4 to put us on to game number 5. Oh, hey, he gets a Widow Mine, loses to Adepts for it though. Not really all that great. And behind this, I have a sense we're going to see a 3rd gateway go down. We got 2 on the way right now. He might stick at 3 gate. That's very reasonable. But given the opportunity, given the value that he's built for himself, taking a 3rd gateway or getting a 4th gateway, going 4 gate blink makes a lot of sense. It seems like he's just going to still stay on 3 gate blink for now. That's going to be the thing. Meanwhile, Clem finally got his natural up. It is a little bit slower. And that does mean that any sort of pressure that Clem wants to go for is rough. It's not going to be timed out. A Widow Mine drop, fine. We saw how much that did in the previous game. It did far more than it ever should have. This probe won't go down. KD8 charge doesn't give him the time. It doesn't give him the bump that he would like. And now MaxPax is quick on the pull this time. He's not trying to micro a bunch of... Oh, careful. I'm gonna say he's not gonna... Well, yeah, this drop. What am I? Wilbur. Oh, MaxPax is low on the pull. Ah, Clem. That was almost really, really good for Clem. But even still, he's going to pick up. Not going to lose the Widowmine for now. And now third base on the way for MaxPax. Totally fine with how this game is going. Blink is done. I would expect to see Charge get started soon just based on how things are going. And maybe a bunch of different gateways. He's only on 2 gases right now. This is how Firefly, this is how other Protoss players have been working out. Meanwhile, there we go. Yeah, Charge on the way. It's going to be a third gas, so it's not going to be 100% charge lot. Not going to be 100% just balls to the wall. I'm going to hit you with a bunch of zealots and hope you die. He will be able to build stalkers, but it is still going to be very gateway focused. And MaxPax is going to have a lot of units early on. He's going to look to, well, deal with the Terran pressure that's coming on in. Terran pressure that is going to come on in because, again, Clem is not going to have a third base. Not for a while. He is slow in this game. And we know that Stim plus 1 combat shields, they're all going to be, again, that's 7, 635, 7-minute type of timing. And this just means we're holding out for the moment. The game is, we're in just a little bit of standby. As gateways are getting added in right now, MaxPax is going to be ready for that timing. Third base on the way from Clem, of course, at 6:30 because this is a 6-minute stim. But what that also means is that technically Clem is not... He is lacking from how little this early game got. His timing's not going to be as powerful. He's not going to have quite as much supply probably. And MaxPax, he's making sure that this doesn't have any possibility. Right? He's got the Warp Prism on the way, which is great. But what he's going to do, as he does most games, is as the moment that Clem moves out, or really when Clem's halfway across the map, when he's committed, Warp Prism into the main base, 4 zealots in it, 8 more zealots warp in, 12 zealots in the main base. And like, what are you going to do, Clem? It's really, really hard. So that's just the timing we're waiting on is, you know, we had some really cool games, but this is one of those where just because the aggression didn't happen, MaxPax is in just this, he's just waiting for the Terran to do something and then he's gonna crush him. It is the goal. It's not 100% gonna happen. Of course, Clem can do miraculous things. And now Stalker. Oh, hey, they're getting something. They're gonna knock down an SCV. And they are caught in the middle here a little bit. There's nowhere to blink. That's actually... Oh, yeah, Widowmine. Oh, gets on top of the big clump. You love that. But what this is also doing is buying time. It's baiting things out. But look at... MaxPax knows how this works. MaxPax has played against... Or Clem's played against MaxPax a billion times. He knows what MaxPax wants to do. He keeps an army in the main base as his first move out happens. And there's a Viking just chasing the Warp Prism down. So... that move where you put 12 zealots in the main base very quickly, it's not going to find anything. And now, we talked about how good this was technically for MaxPax. I worry that MaxPax has played a little bit too greedy. He is down 50 army supply. And there we go. That's going to be the dead Warp Prism. So there is no way to get in the main base right now. There's going to be a wall in the natural. This army out of Clem is gigantic. It is insanely big. And MaxPax, I don't know. The force fields don't do much. They really don't. They kill off one Widowmine, kind of. That's it. This army out of Clem is just gigantic. It is so big right now, and the army's going to try to run through. It's only 2 tanks. That is something. MaxPax is really going to struggle to hold on to this one. He's got a Colossus on the way. That force field's decent, but the Zealots aren't really able to engage, and they get shredded before they engage anyways. Kiting backwards here onto the minefield. Here comes Clem. And we talked about how bad this game was for Clem out of the start, how it just wasn't going to work out all that well. Zealots don't even get the tanks here. MaxPax, he's down 60 army supply. There's a Colossus out, and maybe this forces things back. Clem, this is just so bad. There's no shield battery overcharged anymore either. Clem's got another army getting ready to join the fray. Tanks killing everything. MaxPax is dead. So dead. And Clem, he takes the finals 3-1.